Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lepakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 30th of May. Fourth Indo-German intergovernmental talks held in Berlin to bolster ties. Cyclone Mora hits Bangladesh coast with heavy rain. Several feared killed. And Afghan forces demand additional forces following increased Taliban attacks in Nangarhar. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday opened the fourth India-Germany intergovernmental consultations with German Chancellor Angela Merkel to set a roadmap for the bilateral strategic ties. Both leaders also witnessed the inking of 6 major deals to bolster ties between the two nations.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday held talks with German Chancellor Angela Merkel under the framework of India-Germany intergovernmental consultations in Berlin. Both the leaders also discussed ways to expand cooperation in areas such as trade, security, infrastructure and energy. Indian Prime Minister and German Chancellor also witnessed the inking of a number of memoranda of understanding and joint declaration of intent, including cooperation in the field of digitalization, empowerment and economic impact. Both the leaders also addressed a joint statement.
पार्टनरशिप का महत्व दोनों देशों के लिए तो लाभ करता है ही है, लेकिन ये पार्टनरशिप वैश्विक संदर्भ में भी किस प्रकार से उपयोगी हो, उस दिशा में भी हमारी चिंतन की धारा रही है। हर क्षेत्र में इस मैकेनिज्म के कारण आउटकम ओरिएंटेड मोमेंटम हम देख पा रहे हैं और एक प्रकार से क्वांटम जंप हमारे इन सारे आर्थिक संबंधों में नजर आ रहा है।
Prime Minister Modi said that both the leaders also discussed new and upcoming opportunities and challenges in Asia, Europe and the world. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Modi was accorded a ceremonial welcome with military honours at the Chancellery, the office of the German Chancellor. Prime Minister Modi is on a 4-nation visit to Germany, Spain, Russia and France to boost bilateral relations and seek investment.
In news from Bangladesh, Cyclone Mora made landfall in Bangladesh on early Tuesday morning, resulting in strong winds and heavy rain. Significant damage has been reported from refugee camps, while hundreds of thousands have been evacuated.
According to media reports, at least 5 people have been killed and hundreds of houses have been damaged as Cyclone Mora hit Bangladesh's southeastern coastline. The cyclone struck the coastal Bangladeshi district of Cox's Bazar early on Tuesday, where officials said some 200,000 people were evacuated to shelters. Cox's Bazar district chief said at least 15,000 houses in the district had been destroyed. The border area is home to refugee camps for hundreds of thousands of Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar who have fled from violence in their homeland in northwest Myanmar.
Meanwhile, in Sri Lanka, severe flooding brought on by monsoon rains across southwestern portions of Sri Lanka has resulted in the deaths of at least 183 people. The toll is expected to rise as authorities battle to rescue those still stranded.
The death toll from the devastating floods and landslides which has hit Sri Lanka since last Friday rose to more than 170, with 109 people still missing, according to data from the Disaster Management Centre or DMC on Monday. Rescue operations are underway and bodies are still being pulled out of the debris as many continue to mourn the loss of their loved ones. Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena has assured the victims of new homes and appreciated the continuous support and assistance extended by the forces. He also ordered authorities to provide immediate relief to the people.
එතන උඩ පැත්ත. මේ වගේ කොටින් මේ වගේ එකක් අපි හිතුවෙත් නෑ වෙයි කියලා. අතන ගෙවල් දෙකම යට වෙලා ගියා.
More than 70 persons have been killed in Ratnapura and the numbers are still rising, and the city was submerged by 10 feet high water until Sunday morning when the water began to recede and residents started to return back to their ruined homes to check out their losses. While the challenges in the landslide affected areas are yet to be covered, the flooded villages have come up with temporary solutions to handle their challenges by distributing small packages of relief material and water. Adverse weather warnings still exist and it will take months before normalcy returns to the island country.
Moving on, Baloch activists and leaders have been actively highlighting the atrocities faced by the people of Pakistan's southwestern Balochistan province. Recently, they held a simultaneously demonstrations and rallies in different cities across the world against Pakistan's nuclear weapons test done in Balochistan in 1998.
Free Balochistan movement organized protest in many cities of different nations against Pakistan's nuclear weapons test done in Balochistan on 28 May 1998 and the China-Pakistan nexus in the region. The simultaneous protests are a part of the international campaign of pro-liberation Baloch activists and leaders. Demonstrations and rallies were held in Canada, Germany, Sweden, Norway and Washington to register anger against Pakistan and bring to international attention about the danger of Islamabad's nuclear weapons.
Well, to protest against Pakistani nuclear tests in Balochistan in 1998, and now they've made it a tactical weapon which is more dangerous than before, where each and individual units can use it. It will hurt Balochistan in case of any kind of aggression by Pakistan.
The Baloch people allege that since the nuclear tests in 1998 in Balochistan, thousands of residents have been killed due to diseases caused by radiations. They say hundreds of children are being born with defects and many are suffering still. Through these demonstrations, the Baloch community hopes to spread awareness about the plight of their people under Pakistan's rule, who they claim is only interested in exploiting the rich resources of the region.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan, Afghan security forces have made a demand for support to fight insurgency in eastern Nangarhar province as the Taliban forces increase their attacks in recent weeks. Meanwhile, the US and its NATO allies are still assessing a request to send a few thousand more troops to the country.
As the United States and its NATO allies decide whether to increase the number of troops assigned to Afghanistan, local forces on the ground demand more troops and equipment to beat the Taliban and other insurgent groups. Brigadier General Mohammad Naseem Sangin, who has been leading his brigade in a clear operation to drive insurgent fighters out of Chapahar district in eastern Nangarhar province, said that the forces need additional reinforcement, weapons and high-end equipments to hold the ground. Despite upbeat assurances from foreign and Afghan officials about progress in improving leadership and fighting endemic corruption, the security forces have struggled to contain the widening Taliban insurgency and now control no more than 60% of the country.
تعلیم و تربیت ما را باید کمک کنند، در بخش تجهیزات ما را کمک کنند، در بخش مالی ما را کمک بکنند و در بخش تعرض ما خودمون به آراضی افغانستان بلد هستیم، میتونیم دشمنای خود نابود بکنیم.
In Nangarhar, which is a stronghold of Islamic State militants but otherwise is a relatively stable province, the army is now conducting active operations in 9 districts compared with just 3 last year.
Staying on news from Afghanistan, residents in Afghanistan's northern Kunduz city have fled their homes over fears of a possible war. The region has been undergoing attack by the Taliban insurgent groups, affecting civilians both psychologically and financially.
Scores of residents from Mullah Sardar village on the outskirts of Afghanistan's northern Kunduz province have fled their homes to avoid a possible war. Residents who fled to the highway said the Taliban snipers have taken up positions inside people's homes. Several farmers said that the war and violence has had a negative impact on agriculture. Local officials have, however, said that the security forces have cleared the village of insurgents.
مردم به خاطر اینکه بیچاره شده بیجا شده امروز مشکل داره زراعتش به مشکل مواجه شده نهایت داد خود می داشته باشن که تا حکومت برشان رسیدگی بکنه بدون شک ولی این به این معنا نیست که منطقه مولا سردار.
According to Kunduz Agriculture Department, war in the province over recent years have destroyed 10% of their crops. Already 5% of fields have been destroyed in the area due to war this year. The Taliban has overrun Kunduz city twice in the past 2 years.
In news from Nepal, pilot of a Nepal Army cargo plane died when it crashed after overshooting the runway during an emergency landing at Bajura Airport on Tuesday. Chief of Nepal Gunj Airport said that the pilot in command, Colonel Kailash Gurung, died while co-pilot and the steward have sustained serious injuries. The injured have been taken to hospital for treatment. The PZL M28 Skytruck that took off for Humla district of northwestern Nepal was diverted to Bajura Airport after strong winds. According to officials, the plane overshot some 50 meters from the runway and overturned on a field around afternoon. More on news from Nepal. The Nepal government on Monday deferred the second phase of elections to local bodies from June 14th to June 23rd to ensure the participation of agitating Madhesi-based parties. Members of Rashtriya Janata Party, however, held a protest march demanding constitution amendment first.
Members of Rashtriya Janata Party or the RJP on Monday held a bed and protest march demanding amendment in the constitution and equal representation of Madhes people in Birgan city. They threatened that no polls would be allowed to be conducted in the Madhes-based region until their demands are fulfilled. Though the Nepal government on Monday deferred the second phase of local polls by 9 days to June 23, to ensure the participation of agitating Madhes-based parties, the protesters' priority is constitution amendment before polls.
जब तक हम लोग का मांग नहीं मिलेगा, जब तक संविधान संशोधन करके हम लोग को वहाँ पर स्थान नहीं दिया जाएगा, जब तक मधेश में किसी भी हालत में चुनाव नहीं होगा, इस कारण से हम लोग आज के दिन में लाठी जुलूस है.
The Madhesis are demanding amendments in the provision of citizenship in the constitution and increasing the number of local government units in the plains known as Tarai.
Moving on, markets across the world are flooded with a variety of dates in the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. In India too, the festive month has led to a spur in the sale of dates, which are mandatorily consumed by devout Muslims while breaking their fast.
The sale of dates have notched up across India with the onset of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Dates are one of the most sought-after fruits during Ramadan. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, during which Muslims do not consume food or water from dawn till dusk. According to a tradition, Prophet Muhammad recommended Muslims to break their fast during Ramadan with dates. Markets in India's western Aurangabad city are flooded with different kinds of dates, including those imported from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran and Oman.
अभी रमज़ान के महीने में खजूर की शुरुआत जो होती है, रोज़ा जो छोड़ता है कस्टमर या जो रोज़गार रहता है वो खजूर से ही शुरू होती है, इसके लिए खजूर के दिनों में अच्छी डिमांड होती है.
हाँ, यहाँ बहुत ही वैरायटी है खजूर की, पेंट खजूर की, और हदीस भी है खजूर के लिए कि ये रोज़गार के लिए बहुत क़ुव्वत बख्श होती है. इसके अंदर भरपूर विटामिन्स, प्रोटीन्स ये वो सब रहते हैं और रोज़गार के लिए बहुत फ़ायदेमंद है.
Ramadan is a time to detach from worldly pleasures and focus on one's prayers. The fast is intended to bring the faithful closer to God and to remind them of the suffering of those less fortunate.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.